I'm up early here today in Uttarakhand to take you to a place where a lot of tech titans from Silicon Valley go for inspiration. But first, we've got to catch the bus. Whenever I'm traveling short distances in India, I always take local buses. You get more of a local feel and you have more interaction with people around you on these buses. The only problem is you need to be able to read Hindi if you want to be able to take them, or else it can be a bit hard because the signs aren't usually in English. Sometimes they are. But you can always just stop the bus and just ask them where they're going, and people are going to help you catch the bus, whether or not you can speak Hindi or read Hindi. This dog really is not happy with me standing here. I can hear the bus from a mile away. You can see the sign on the right side, and the sign, it's hard to read, but it says Nainital, the second word there. Hi, Karoli. Okay, so this is a local bus, and you won't find... And, wow, Longhorn. So this is a local bus, and you won't find many foreigners on these types of transportation because, you know, it's just a little bit harder than taking a taxi or taking a luxury bus. This bus is costing me 21 rupees to go from Bhimtal to Bawali. If I took a taxi, it would cost me, you know, probably 1,000 or 1,500 rupees. So it's really cost effective. So when you get on the bus, just let the driver know where you're going, and he'll usually stop at that destination and tell you to get off at that point. So the drivers are really helpful here. Steve Jobs came here in 1974 looking for enlightenment from a guru named Neem Karoli Baba, but the Baba had died 3 months prior. But it still is said that his time here and Neem Karoli Baba's favorite fruit, apples, inspired the Apple logo. Then in 2008, Mark Zuckerberg came here on advice from his mentor, which was, you know, Steve Jobs. And Steve said to Mark, come here and you can... There's a fly on my face. Facebook was going through a rough patch, so Mark went to his mentor Steve Jobs and said, you know, what should I do? And Steve said, come to this temple, come to Kainchi Temple, and contemplate the direction of your company. So Zuckerberg came here and stayed for 2 nights, and people say that it put his company on the right track after this visit. Larry Page from Google has been here, and Jeff Skoll from eBay has been here too. So let's go inside Kainchi Dham and find out why it's become a retreat for Silicon Valley. And I've just seen that they say cameras and photography is not allowed in here, so I'm gonna have to go try and get some permission to film in here. Okay, so I couldn't film in there. I went and asked for permission, and they just said they don't allow anybody to film in there. Nobody, not TV crews, not movie crews, nobody. And I can respect that because they want it to be an ashram which is peaceful and people can come in. Not have vloggers and people running around, but I can film from the street, so let's go up there and I'll explain the temple to you. Right in front of us here is Kainchi Dham, and it became popular in the late 60s because an American author known as Baba Ramdas, he wrote a book about Neem Karoli Baba, and that really sparked the interest of foreigners in this place. And so they all started coming here to receive Neem Karoli Baba's blessings. Inside the complex is a Hanuman temple, but all the action is around this white temple which you can see, and this houses a statue of Neem Karoli Baba. This is where people come to get close to him. Behind these temples is an ashram complex where guests stay, and I couldn't go and check out the ashram because only guests can go and visit the ashram. And if you want to be a guest at the ashram, you've got to be recommended by another member of the ashram. Kainchi Dham isn't really that much of an interesting place to visit. You should only really visit if you're a follower of Neem Karoli Baba. Like, there's nothing else there to do or see. And the location of this ashram is actually really terrible. It's right on the side of a busy road with trucks going up and down all day, so it's really noisy. It's not that peaceful. If you want to go to an ashram, I'd say don't go to this one. I recommend you find one that is more remote. And so Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and the rest, they're not Hindus, so I don't think these people are going there for the spiritual side of this ashram. They're going there for the peace and quiet. And when you have that peace and quiet, and when you practice yoga and when you meditate, you're able to contemplate. Ancient Indian philosophers like Buddha, for them contemplation was finding truth. And for that, they had to leave their families and they had to leave their lives behind, and they went wandering in the forest because this is where they could contemplate best. This is where they could think best. We also live in societies which restrict our ability to think in new ways and to see new perspectives. So this is another reason to come out to these places, to get away from society and the way everybody thinks and the way society wants you to think. I've had similar experiences here as well. The last few days in Uttarakhand, I have been cut off from the internet and I've been in the forests, and there's nothing else to do but contemplate and but read books and fill your mind with ideas and just get the creative juices flowing. If you're doing yoga or meditation and you're somewhere so peaceful, you really can feel free to think whatever you want and create whatever you want. So there's definitely a benefit to going to these ashrams or just going anywhere where you can find peace and where you can practice yoga and meditation quietly. There's also the angle that if you go there, you'll be blessed and your business will succeed, like Steve Jobs and like Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know about that, but let's see if my YouTube channel hits 1 million subscribers in the next month.